Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's poppin', Fantasy Champs? Welcome back to the normal camera view. It's a little darker in here.
Yeah, I don't know. This kind of feels sadder.
Feels eerie.
Yeah.
My wife took a lamp from behind us, the one that was normally sitting there, and she moved it. So
now it's just dark and gloomy.
now it's just dark and gloomy.
It's because it's about to be the off season.
That's very true. Yeah, because let's I'll do that in a second. Because the Super Bowl is Sunday, so we should probably make some form of picks. But anyway, today, like we said in the last episode at the end, we have ADP analysis in this episode. We did something of a sort last year for a couple of rounds, and then I said we were going to do more, and we forgot. So I think for this episode, we're going to break down some ADP. First round, we have some preliminary new ADP.
Okay.
So we'll see what the first round looks like. I have the old mock draft, not the old one, but the one we did 2 weeks ago of the first round. So I'm going to see what ours lines up with and talk about the differences. So before we do that, check out our website, thefantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter at the FFChamps, on Instagram at thefantasychampions. You can like us at facebook.com/thefantasychampions. Like us on all those platforms. Got to boost the brand, my friends. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcasting platforms, be sure to leave a review and share this podcast with your friends. Also, smash the subscribe button. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe as well. Subscribing, best way to support the show.
Absolutely.
Got to get it out there. So be sure to subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, like, and comment down below. Subscribe. I'm going to put subscribe in the keywords.
So,
because I said it 100 times.
With the Super Bowl coming up this week, I really would. Do you see people on Twitter posting on TikTok their predictions each week?
No.
Oh, so I follow some people that did that, and I was like, I should do that for our TikTok. I didn't do it. I'm so mad because my bracket has been perfect, which is why I'm not going to pick the Super Bowl. I refuse to pick the Super Bowl because the team I want, I do not want to pick for them because then,
your bracket
it's going to be opposite. No, because it's just all a mental thing.
You have to pick.
I'm not going to.
So you can't have a perfect bracket if you're not going to pick.
The team I want,
Who do you think is going to win? Okay, we'll start. Okay. Who does your heart want to win?
Buccaneers.
Who does your head think you're going to win? Who's going to win? This is an easy one. The Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Back to back. First time since New England did it in 2003
But if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pull it off,
the
pants are off. I was going to show up to his house. Or
he made a false promise that he would get Buccaneers jerseys if the Bucs won the made it to the Super Bowl, I should say.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to do it, but they don't have my size. Yeah. I was just I'm not going to pay for this anyway.
He didn't.
But I would if they had my size when I looked at it the other day, I was prepared to buy it. I was going to show up in Buccaneers jerseys, playing Pirates of the Caribbean music, waving a Buccaneer flag.
You should do the Pirates of the Caribbean thing anyway.
Yeah, we'll still do that.
With Walmart jerseys.
I have a red Gronk jersey that looks like a Buccaneers jersey, kind of. Or you could say it does. So I might wear that.
Where did you get a red Gronk jersey?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. So anyway, yeah, I picked the Kansas City Chiefs. He's mentally picking the Kansas City's in his heart.
I think the Buccaneers have a better chance than you do, though. I think you're sold on the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, I thought the Chiefs were gonna win.
I do think the Chiefs. I'm with you, but I think it's 60-40.
Okay, I'm more like 90-10.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
So
you give the Buccaneers no chance.
I think Brady and the Bucs are gonna get their freaking.
He also did predict. He said
he's gonna get spanked.
When I came over here and they played the Saints, Morgan told me, almost quote, "There's no way in hell the Buccaneers beat the Saints. They beat the Saints." And then you thought the Packers were gonna kill whoever the Saints and Buccaneers were. So you thought the Packers were gonna win. Buccaneers won. So. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I want to be wrong.
No, I do think the Chiefs are gonna win, but I think it'll be. Yeah. There's a chance the Buccaneers can pull it off.
I am shocked. I was shocked to find out that the Chiefs only won their matchup during the regular season by 3 points.
Yeah.
So and Tyreek Hill had 500 yards and 60 touchdowns. So We'll see. We'll see what happens in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a fun afternoon. I'm kind of excited. I forgot it was this week.
Yeah. Should I gamble on Tyreek Hill?
No, you should not gamble. I told my wife he's slipping into like a deep gambling thing.
I'm not. I feel like I literally
first
sometimes I gamble like 25 cents.
First it was a couple of he paid, what was that league, $100 buy-in? Was it?
No, it was a $25.
A $25 buy-in, almost won a couple $100 and lost that league, but that gave him a taste. So now all he wants to do is bet on all leagues. Now, fantasy football, notorious for, a betting thing. So $25, $10 is not a big problem. It's when you start paying $5,000 per league.
Dude,
you're going there though.
No.
So he started playing DFS. Now he's testing the stock market waters. Checking out those stonks, but no. You gotta.
Hey, as long as you.
How long before you're in Vegas playing at the craps table?
We'll see. You'll see like a few months. Me and my friend in Vegas.
Yeah. That scares
We're homeless.
me a little bit.
I knock on your window.
He's like, yeah,
dude.
You remember that time I told you I was gonna do this? I can't do it anymore because I got no money. I spent it all on DFS.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, I think the Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl.
Hey, no,
I think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Sorry, I think it was Monkey Knife Fight. I was on their app looking up the prop bets. So if you want to check out,
I'm pretty sure
how long you think the national anthem is going to be.
Oh, I can't wait. I want to do that. Those are fun. I think real quickly, the Chiefs are only favored by 3 points. So Vegas thinks it's going to be a close game at least.
Yeah, I mean, Brady likes to pull up his pants, but
I'm just so scared that the Chiefs are going to win.
Here's my thing. This is why I think the Chiefs are going to win.
60-10.
A part of me thinks they're going to get spanked like the Bills did.
A game like that, yeah.
But if it's Brady, so it'll be close.
As long as you keep it close.
I don't think Brady wins if it's close either, because I think that if the Bucs have the lead in the fourth quarter, and Patrick Mahomes has 22 seconds left, Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Tyreek Hill down the field.
They literally have to have the ball last to win the Super Bowl. It's
gonna be tough, but I think they can.
Unless they freaking sheer will themselves to a 28-point lead in the fourth quarter,
I'll be rooting hard for them.
And the Chiefs just get.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I will say this: Kansas City has no offensive line left.
Yeah, their offensive line is not great.
Their center got COVID.
Yep.
Eric Fisher's done.
Yep. And
they already had a tackle out.
Yep.
So
but to counter that, I'm pretty sure Tampa's secondary is also crazy beat up.
I think
Tyreek Hill's going up against third string guys. It's going to be bad.
I don't think Tyreek Hill will have the same type of game.
I don't either because if Todd Bowles has a brain, he's gonna just triple team. Do not let Tyreek Hill go off. But then obviously Travis Kelce's gonna.
I don't think it was the Buccaneers sucking. I think it was just their straty that sucked.
They let Hill one-on-one all game.
They were trying to take the underneath stuff away. Well, you honestly need a fast safety to beat that team. That's all you need. Somebody who can keep up with Hill, which is virtually impossible.
Yeah. Good
luck with that. But anyway, yeah, Chiefs. You made a prediction. I made you make one. So let's break down some ADP. What say you? I haven't showed you this ADP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it. I'll go through it.
Okay.
And we'll get your reaction. So our first round, to give you, where the hell did it go? Our first round, to give you a recap of what we did 2 weeks ago, was McCaffrey 101, Dalvin Cook 102, Saquon 103, Henry 104.
You're going to go through the whole list.
Adams 105. Yeah, because we're talking about the first round, bro.
Okay.
Alvin Kamara 106. What's your problem? With today?
Nothing, bro. I'm just a Buccaneers guy. That's all.
Jonathan Taylor 107. Nick Chubb 108, Hill 109, Gibson 110, 111, James Robinson, and then 112, Aaron Jones. I will say we got the first and the last one right.
Oh, really?
Yes. So anyway, right now the first overall pick is Christian McCaffrey, according to Fantasy Football Calculator's ADP. I had to fish for this stuff, by the way. If you go into PPR,
is this
12 team, you'll get real analysis on ADP. That's the only place I can find actual analysis that lines up.
Right.
Sleeper has still not updated.
Who is the second pick?
The second pick is Dalvin Cook.
Okay, so we got the first two correct.
And then we have Alvin Kamara 3.
Okay.
Which is off. Derrick Henry 4.
Okay.
Devontae Adams. Saquon Barkley is the 1-5
Yeah. So what I'll say, so we're pretty close.
to the top 5. Yeah, because the next guy's wide receiver, but
Okay.
to the top 5. Yeah.
I think Alvin Kamara. I'm not saying that that won't happen. I think that would be kind of dumb because people are gonna be excited. But if Taysom Hill is the quarterback on the Saints next year, I don't want Alvin Kamara at the 1-3.
Do you think right now he's going as the 1-3 because of the season he had, or do you think he's going as the 1-3 because of the fact that people don't know whether or not there's going to be a quarterback on that team?
I think it's purely right now based on the season he had. I mean, I could be wrong, but people look at what he's done, and he was still okay without Breeze. So people are like, "Oh, he'll be fine." It's Alvin Kamara, right? He's a star running back. I just really worry with Taysom Hill. I really do. And seeing what he did with Taysom Hill, it really bothers me. But you can continue the list.
Okay, I was just gonna go one at a time and talk about them.
Okay, so we had Adams was 1-4 or Henry.
Henry was 1-4.
So that's,
Barkley was 1-5. So the top 5 running backs that we had.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty accurate.
They actually went in the top 5, but Barkley was 5 and Kamara was 3. So
I would take Barkley in the 105.
Yeah, me too. And then to complete the list, because we'll analyze it in a second, but it's Devontae Adams, the 1-6.
Okay, so our top 6 are the same, just slightly different.
And then Rick had this right, but we just couldn't pull ourselves to do it. The 1-8, I'm sorry, forgive me. Did I say Adams was the 1-6?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So Travis Kelce right now is the 7th player off the board, but his ADP is 1-8.
So we'll just say 1-7 though. Just go by the
107
top players.
So he is the 107. Yep. Rick said that correctly. Now I will let this one slide for you idiots because he's not a top 5 guy yet.
Dude, don't call him
Will
idiots,
he
bro.
be
Come on.
a top 5 player?
No, he won't. He won't. People are gonna realize. I mean, I think I do. Well, see, I don't know.
How many people draft him in the top 5 and then he tears
I don't
ACL
think
week
people
4?
are not going to take him in the top 5, but he will. I think go in the first round.
Yeah, I think he's going to go in the
Late
first round
round.
too. But the fact right now he's drafting
high,
at 107.
It's just the advantage. People are overvaluing the huge advantage Kelce gives.
Yeah.
Because if you have, like you said, if you have that huge advantage at tight end, it's fantastic if the rest of your team is good.
Yeah.
But you're missing out on one of those top running backs in the first round. And chances are you're going to take, who's going to be your RB1? David Montgomery?
We'll talk
Josh
about
Jacobs?
This. We will talk about this all offseason.
I mean, and then you're stuck with your wide receiver one being, according to our list, like Amari Cooper in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, which is okay, but it's your team is going to just be better if you go with those star.
I think the other issue that people don't really like. I think you do get an advantage with
absolutely.
We're not
absolutely.
We're not dissing the advantage that you get with Travis Kelce. Like if you want to draft him in the 2nd or the 3rd round, that might be okay.
I took him at the end of the 2nd because he was just the best player available.
If you take him in the first round, middle to late first round, you as hell better have a great draft
right
after that.
Oh, look.
Where you land on 2 big-time running backs in the 2nd and 3rd round.
Fell to the 2nd round. This is great.
I know.
Then
you better get lucky. Right. A lot of lucky in your draft. So you better be drafting with a bunch of morons because you are going to get smoked. I'm telling you, if I'm in a league like ours, if I am in a industry league and somebody in that industry league drafts Travis Kelce, I want to play them every week of the season.
Yeah.
They are going to not be good. I don't care who you are.
I think there's a way you could still be good. It just makes it much harder because the draft isn't.
Yeah, you're right. I get too tricked.
Everybody can have a bad draft.
Like it's true. Bad.
You do. Everybody can have a bad draft and recover. Right?
Sometimes there's different. Yes, continue your thought because I was going to jump into something. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say everyone can have a bad draft and still recover. So you can still take Kelce in the first round and you can either have a great rest of the draft or you can trade for a guy, whatever, and you can still fix that situation. I just think it puts you at a hole early on at running back, at receiver, at positions that I think are more important than tight end, honestly.
It's like when you drive, because I'm going to forget the thought I had a second ago. It's like drafting Travis Kelce in the first round is like going out and buying a brand spanking new car.
Okay, Colin Cowherd.
And driving it off the lot. I go to get my Tesla, and I drive it off the lot, and in one day, it's already depreciated $5,000. That is drafting Travis Kelce in the first round. If you draft him in the first round and you exit your draft, Travis Kelce is not going to be worth a top 5 running back or a top 5 wide receiver. He is going to be worth the number one tight end. You're going to get like
He might be worth a top 5
low end wide receiver 1 or a low end running back 1 in return for Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about finishes. I'm talking about like if you have the mentality in your head that you're going to draft him to trade him, you already lose the trade because you're spending first round pick, top 5 running back, top 5 wide receiver value.
If you're taking
in
him
draft
that
picks,
high,
and if you're
correct,
taking him
yeah.
that high, and you're not getting it in return the second the draft is over. Like we were talking about this earlier this week. I was trying to decide whether I wanted to trade the 102 in a super flex league for Jalen Hurts. Let me know in the comments if I should. 'Cause it's still
Dynasty
in my head.
league.
Dynasty league. And
I wouldn't.
and I was thinking about it. And I'm like, why would I do that? It makes literally no sense.
No, I mean it makes Jalen Hurts was like
makes sense.
he was like a top 12 quarterback last year when he was.
It's like the quarterback
a big risk,
the quarterback position in dynasty leagues, especially in superflex dynasty leagues. The second you draft Trevor Lawrence, or Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, they still hold their value. You know what I mean? They still hold that physical value. You can trade them post draft. It's not the same thing with Travis Kelce. You can't do that if you're in a startup or in a regular redraft league. You're not going to be able to sell Travis Kelce for that value. So I'm going to stick by. I usually don't tell people that their strategies suck because everyone has strategies. Zero wide receiver, zero wide receiver, yeah, you want to go in that direction? Fine, draft 3 running backs in the first 3 rounds. If you want to go zero running back, draft 3 wide receivers in the first 3 rounds. If you want to draft Travis Kelce in the second round because you really believe in the tight end position, then sure as hell do it. But if you are drafting Travis Kelce in the top 5 or even in the top 12, you are essentially just sheerly incompetent at fantasy analysis.
Oh, dude. I don't know about
Tell
all
me,
that.
does he
disagree
finish?
with
Does he
it.
finish as a top 3 wide receiver again next year?
No, absolutely
Does he finish
not.
as a top
Absolutely
3,
not.
top 5 running back next year?
No, I don't think so.
No, definitely not. So why draft him in that? Like I understand positional value, but like to me, I drafted T.J. Hawkinson, who was a top 4 tight end in fantasy football this year in round 14.
Yeah.
So like if
Robert Tonyan was a
Tonyan was a
undrafted.
free agent, or waiver wire guy.
Yeah.
So like if you're telling me that you can't solve your tight end position in the season, I've talked about this before. I like guys like Kittle. I like guys like Darren Waller, right?
Yeah.
You can get those guys at a way cheaper value.
Kittle could be really good this year,
Right.
if they add a quarterback too,
right? And it's
upgrade.
like if you get to the middle rounds and you have guys like Darren Waller or George Kittle, in round 4 or 5. I don't think Kittle's going to be on the board at 4. In the 4th round, but you can get guys later in the draft that will suffice. I spent the entire season not thinking about the tight end position, and then when I did, I got a touchdown on my tight end on the waiver wire. But I'm like, you don't have to have Travis Kelce to have success. You really don't. And almost every league that I was in this year, and I don't know if Rick can reference this at all, but I don't believe that Travis Kelce was on any semifinal or finals teams.
In a redraft, I don't think
In
he
a
was.
redraft.
Yeah.
So like drafting Travis Kelce for that sheer advantage when you have to focus on like if you're saying, okay, I'm going to get Travis Kelce when you have a need for, in some leagues, 2 running backs and 3 wide receivers and then a flex, you're in trouble, my friends. You're going to be in
tough.
high water.
It's tough.
So anyway, the next guy on the list is the 108. I like this a lot, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I'll leave him there.
Okay, so we got him there, 108. Jonathan Taylor's a little low, huh?
Tyreek Hill was the 1-9.
We got that one right.
And then Ezekiel Elliott was 110.
Okay, so Zeke's still okay.
So
So there's still
we
hype
have
for Zeke.
4 picks off on Zeke. I think that's going to change as the season gets closer. I really do. And then D-Hop was 11. Second, third wide receiver off the board, and Aaron Jones was 12. So
no Taylor in the first round. Huh?
I'm just gonna go through no Jonathan Taylor in the first round, no Antonio Gibson, and no James Robinson. So we're gonna start with Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor right now is averaging as the 15th player off the board, which is the 2-3.
Oh, I would love him in that spot.
That is a great spot.
I would love.
If you're
him
here, if you're
at that
at the
spot.
110,
Yeah.
and you have an opportunity, or
that's like Chubb
1-8.
last year, right? Where did he go in our draft? Our home
He
league.
was like 2-3.
I think he was like 2-4, 2-5.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And then you have Antonio Gibson, who went. Wow, hold on a second.
Yeah, this was
401.
This was a you pick. you were like Gibson. I do think he'll go higher than that though. 401.
Yeah, he'll probably be a second round pick. I think the reason why I had him at 110 though is because I really I think it depends on what happens with the offense, but he does remind me, like when we looked at ADP, I can probably pull it up in here from 2020 at this time. Miles Sanders was like a third, fourth round pick. And then he ended up as a late first rounder as soon as everyone got a hold of the hype. And I think if you're looking at yes, Jonathan Taylor is going to be up there because he's going to be hyped. But I think a lot of people are going to look at Antonio Gibson. They're going to be like, he has the pass catching ability. He has the rushing ability. He can be Christian McCaffrey light in an offense where the head coach literally
absolutely
gave every offensive snap.
I love
every offensive play went to Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I like Gibson a lot. I
think the hype is going to back it up because people like me and Rick are telling people to draft people high, and I don't mean like me and Rick and we have this massive podcast.
No, you're saying,
but the fantasy footballers are going to do it. Nick Ercolano is going to do it. I forgot that guy's name. Harris Football. They're probably going to do it.
Sure.
You're going to see Yahoo Sports do it. Like everyone's going to hype up this guy, and it's going to be ridiculous. So. I think that's why he's in the 110, but it makes sense right now that he's 401 because I think injury decline. What's his name? The guy that everyone was hyping up, Cam Akers. He's probably going to vanish for a little while.
Well, I don't know because now they got Matt Stafford.
Cam Akers is 404 right now, so we'll see where that goes. But anyway, and then who's the final guy? James Robinson. He currently is a 209.
Okay, I put him. I picked him at 111 just because. That was basing it off what they have now plus Trevor Lawrence. So if they add a running back, obviously he's not going to go that high. But if they don't let's say they draft a running back, but it's like the fourth or fifth round, right? Okay. They just draft like a third down back, or even late third, like a Darrington Evans guy.
That I just unplugged my mic, so we're good.
A guy like the Titans drafted this past season, right? Yeah. Someone who's just a complimentary guy. Mm-hmm. I think the hype with James Robinson and Trevor Lawrence, and if they add a receiver because they have all that cap space,
right.
They have 11 draft picks.
Yeah,
the hype is going to go through the roof because he was a top 5. He was the RB6 last year, RB7.
Yeah,
without all that, without Trevor Lawrence, without a good offensive line, without a good offense in general.
I think for him, I keep losing my microphone.
Yeah,
check 1 2.
I don't know.
Check 1 2. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
all right, there we go. Good. I think the thing for James Robinson. For me particularly is I think a lot of people don't really know. He kind of reminds me of you remember last year Aaron Jones came off he was top 5 running back.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
And then he ended up at 2.9,
different
2.8,
reasons,
2.10.
but same situation, same idea. Yeah.
So I think you're gonna see James Robinson.
Dude, your mic is
I know it's just going in and out. I pulled the cord, so this cord might be gone. But I do think James Robinson is probably going to be in that same, like Rick said, different reasons, but same scenario. I could see him. It's similar to an Austin Eckler, where he ends up at 2.6, 2.7.
Sure.
I don't think when you took him in the first round, I was like, he should be a first round pick if he ends up being the guy, but he won't be. And I think it's because there's a lot of guys like Gibson's going to get hyped into the first round.
Sure.
I believe that. Jonathan Taylor was going to get himself hyped into the first round.
Yeah.
And I think even this top 12, we just saw Travis Kelce probably going to end up in the first round.
Kelsey will. Yeah, Kelsey will.
So it's
Taylor
you're
will.
starting to push guys back, and it just ends up being that
Who
scenario.
was the rest of the first round again? The last few guys it was Zeke, Travis Kelce, and DeAndre Hopkins, I believe. Right? Yeah. It was Bro, your mic is screwed, dude. I might have to just do this myself, bro.
Yeah, go ahead and analyze while I do this.
Yeah, I think Hopkins, that's not a bad spot. We had him close. Kelsey, we knew. And then Zeke, I feel like he might go down. I'm not sure, but if he's probably going to be around that range.
Right.
Looks like you're back. So do you want to start the next round?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to do the next round, but we can if we want to. So Kelsey, we had 2-1, so we talked about that. We had Zeke at 2-2. So Zeke at the 110 makes sense in a lot of ways. He's a guy that do you think that's going to hold?
Zeke at 110.
Yeah. Do you think he's
I
going
think
to
it's
hold,
gonna
or is he going to slip into
he's
the
gonna
second?
slip a little bit. I think it's gonna be, but he's gonna stay in the area. Like he's gonna be in like that 110, 2-3 range.
Yeah, and
somewhere in that range.
And then we had Diggs 2-3, Hopkins 2-4. Hopkins obviously was a first rounder. And then we had Swift, Montgomery, Eckler,
Josh
I was going to say
Jacobs.
Robinson, Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, and then Justin Jefferson. So now moving into the second round, the 2-1 right now is Austin Eckler. I don't know that Austin Eckler is going to go at the 2-1 at this point.
Yep.
I do like I want to do more analysis on that Chargers offense and see where that situation is going, because I don't know what their offense is going to look like. I don't know what the coaching staff
and the
really
new coaching
fully
staff
is going to
too,
look
man.
like.
It's
going to be an interesting situation. So like, are they going to utilize Austin Eckler the same way that, because what's his name? The guy that got fired.
Anthony Lynn.
Thank you, Anthony Lynn. He's a big running backs guy. He was a running back in the NFL. So him giving the ball to Austin Eckler a million times a game probably is not going to happen.
He didn't really do that though last year. They used Kalen Ballard. Like, it was gross how they used Austin Eckler. So it could, in theory, be better, but it also could be worse. Yeah. And they could bring in another like physical running back as well, because there's a lot on the market, like let's say a Todd Gurley or something like that. So I don't know, man. I really don't know what the Eckler situation is.
And then you have Mahomes 2-3.
That's crazy, but I could see it.
Yeah. We were about 12 picks off on that one. Metcalf 2. I'm sorry. Metcalf is actually the 2-5. I'm just reading the pick number, but there's a lot of like repeating picks here. So Mahomes is actually 2. I would say 2-4.
Okay. No, according to this list, if you're just going off the top guys in order, then Mahomes is 2-2, Metcalf is 2-3, Taylor's 2-4.
Okay, and then Taylor's 2-4, so he's not too far off. And then we have Diggs at the 2-5,
which is about
it's right off where we were, and then Kittle 2-5, which is kind of surprising. That's very high.
That is high.
Mike Thomas 2-6. We got hate in the comments for putting Mike Thomas at 3-2.
Yeah.
And they said that he should be like a 4th round pick.
Oh, even lower?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would. Well, I don't know if I would slip to the 4th.
But anyway, I think
he's going to be a polarizing player.
Like the fact that he's 2-6 right now, I think that's probably where he's going to hover. He reminds me a lot of like Juju coming off that big season he had, and then he was like hovering down in that. Yeah, so I don't know what. Not necessarily Mike Thomas is slowing down. I mean, like where his value is in that round. So I think he'll probably hover there, but there is a chance he slips. So that's one of our hot takes, I guess. And then Josh Jacobs at 2-6. We have him at 2-8, or actually 2-7, I should say. Calvin Ridley is 2-8, I believe.
Yep.
And then we have James Robinson, as we said, 2-9. Miles Sanders is 2-10. And then we have Keenan Allen and Darren Waller. So Darren Waller's beginning 3rd.
So it's got no Montgomery. No Swift.
No
Dobbins.
Swift's
now these are, but all the guys that we have in here.
Swift is like a mid 3rd rounder right now.
Where's J.K. Dobbins? And Montgomery.
Dobbins is probably a 5th rounder, like middle 4th.
4th rounder. Wow, I would love Dobbins as a 4th round. Holy cow. Yeah.
Where's Joe?
Joe Mixon.
3-5.
Okay, that's not crazy. A lot of these guys that we have high up.
Yeah.
Gibson, Robinson, Swift, Montgomery, Dobbins, all 5 of these guys that aren't on those lists. The reason we have them high up is the offseason hype that hasn't barely started.
It hasn't happened yet.
Those guys are all going to get hyped up. Robinson might not if they add a running back, but if they don't,
I can see Cam Akers not getting hyped up. And then
dude, have you gone on Twitter? People are obsessed with him.
I've been on Twitter, but postseason hype is different than real hype.
I know, but like the Matt Stafford thing, people are like, oh my gosh, and now he has a quarterback. RB1. Like what?
In a new offense, so we'll see how they utilize. I can't wait for the coaches show when we break down all of. Did you just cough?
No,
you didn't. I heard like a loud noise.
I went like.
That's all right.
I don't know.
Anyway, we got to end the show. I don't know what my thought was. That sound completely just melted my mind. It killed it. But anyway, there you have it. A quick breakdown of the first 2 rounds. Can't wait to start doing real mock drafts next week. We are going to do a dynasty mock draft.
Oh, yeah.
First couple rounds, a full mock draft, and give you a breakdown of how that's going to play out. So we're excited about that. But don't forget to check out our website, thefantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and we will talk to you, my friends, on Tuesday.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.